Do we live in the Matrix? Now, this is a very tough question to answer, but some people are convinced that they can give us the truth. Here's a little conversation between Neil deGrasse Tyson and some other geniuses who I have no idea who they are, but they actually sound very convincing.
People often use the latest technology of the day to raise questions about reality. Descartes put these questions in terms of dreaming. How can I know that I'm not dreaming right now? And then he built the thought experiment of an evil demon. How can I know that an evil demon isn't producing all these perceptions of the world
as he would at that time,
even though none of it is real? These days, we ask exactly that same question by saying, basically, how do you know you're not in a virtual reality right now?
Right.
Might you be in the Matrix? Could we be in a computer simulation? And suddenly that question is just kind of a contemporary way of expressing Descartes' old question.
Using modern technology to explain the fact that we could be in the Matrix. Now, I don't have the answer, but honestly, we feel real, right? But is that just our brains telling us that? And what is our brain? This is way out of hand. I'm too confused to even answer this question, to be honest.
About reality.
Except, let's be honest, you can put a mathematical value on every single thing in the universe. Even particles have, I learned, they have a, what do you call, half up or half down?
Spin up, spin down. A charge, a mass.
So a charge, a mass. So you could put if you could put a mathematical value on every single thing, you can make a simulation of every single thing.
For sure.
Right.
And in virtual reality right now, in the actual virtual reality systems we have right now, they have complex simulations and models inside them with
right
bits
now
that have values.
Let me pull some philosophy on you.
Yeah.
If we can represent reality on a computer in a virtual, because we can mathematically map everything that's going on, then philosophically, does the question even matter?
Ooh, because at that point,
you can't tell the difference.
Virtual reality is the reality. So what difference does
We can't tell. Everything is calculatable, right? You can calculate everything. So does that mean that because we can do it right now that we are in one? I don't know.
What difference does it make? Let me ask you.
Reality is reality.
Reality is reality no matter what.
Then that's
I'm sympathetic with your point, but there is a traditional philosopher's response which goes something like this. Just say your spouse was cheating on you and you never discover it. So you never know the difference. Your life
First of all,
goes exactly.
I knew you sneaky. No, go ahead.
You never know, so it doesn't affect you at all. But a lot of people want to say, man, that would suck. That would be really bad, even though I don't know.
Yeah,
and they have the same attitude towards virtual reality. Even though it seems the same to me, my beliefs about the world are totally shattered in the same way they would be by my spouse cheating on me.
So for those dumpster divers on our podcast, we actually interviewed Nick Bostrom, one of the early advancers of the idea that we might be living in a simulation. He's one of your people, right?
Yeah, he's a philosopher, wrote a classic article, 2003, basically giving a mathematical argument that we should take this idea that we're in a simulation seriously.
So that was 4 years after the movie The Matrix came out.
So look, even if you are in a simulation, right? Okay, big deal, you're in a simulation. What are we going to do about it? What can you do, right?
Yeah. So I wonder if that inspired him. Is that allowed? Will a philosopher admit that pop culture influenced their deepest thoughts?
I wrote an article on this stuff called The Matrix as Metaphysics, they asked me to write an article for the Matrix website back in the day.
Nice.
I wrote something, and I think it's one of my greatest philosophical ideas.
Good.
I published a book later on.
That's what we're about here.
Reality Plus, all about
pop culture
this.
influencing everything.
And the key idea was that if we're in the Matrix, that doesn't mean everything we believe is wrong. Rather, we're living in a it-from-bit universe.
Can you break that down?
We're living in a universe where the its, the tables, the chairs, the plants, the planets, are all made of bits, processes in a computational system. If we're in a simulation, all of the its are made of bits, which connects to John Wheeler's famous idea that in physics, the basic its are all
The difference
bits,
is,
from bit.
not the difference, the further clarification is in the Matrix, there is a layered reality because their consciousness is contained within them just like it is within us, but then it's connected to the Matrix. So what you're saying is if this were a virtual reality, when all of the its would be bits would just mean that they're all constructed, there is no outside.
Yeah, well, there's the pure it from bit where the bits are the basic level. And then there's also what I call the it from bit from it. which is underneath the bits.
Okay,
Here we go.
You got
where
some more
exactly do I get green eggs and ham in this virtual reality?
You go
not
up to
eat
the
them, Sam,
matrix.
I am.
You go up to the matrix. You find a computer which is running this simulation, and it's got some bits, and all of its bits are made of like voltages in a circuit board. So
Right.
it's it from bit from it.
So what is the probability that we are in a simulation? And if we are we nothing more than some super sophisticated ant farm for a young being somewhere?
From a mischievous alien in his parents' basement, programming us up. Yeah.
We're a school
think it might-
project.
it might-
We're a school project at a science fair. In
We
some
might
distant
be.
More
galaxy.
likely, it's a high-powered scientist who set up 1 billion simulations overnight. He's just left them running. He's got to come back in the morning,
gone away for dinner.
gather up the
Oh my
statistics.
gosh.
And,
That makes more
and time dilation.
would make
That
more
makes
sense.
more sense.
I don't want to know
High-powered
that.
science.
Why did you say
You
that?
just ruined it for us.
Sorry.
You ruined it. Because guess what?
Don't shut it down.
And that would explain the multiverse and everything.
Man.
Oh my
Sorry, I
God, that's
asked.
awful.
Maybe Hegel once said that the end of history is when the universe becomes conscious of itself. So in this simulation idea, the moment we realize we're in a simulation, that's when they shut us down.
Right.
Don't shut us down.
Just like the Truman
We're having a good
Show.
conversation.
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
And that-